What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm going to be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have several quite interesting updates. First of all, I will show you one more time the explanation of Thomas D. Murphy in regards to the actions that happened just 5 or 6 days ago and that are directly related to Ralph Norman's event. On top of that, I will show you an update in one of the most recent lawsuits, and I have to admit that the defendant in this lawsuit, argues quite interesting things, and to be honest, it is, in my opinion, it is pure evidence that FINRA and the defendant in this lawsuit is FINRA is arguing quite obvious things, but it proves that they don't want to protect retail investors. On top of that, I will show you some new details about Greg McCabe and his actions that he's done back in the days. So, and before we dive deep into all of these, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. On top of that, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And you have just 2 tiers if you want to join my Patreon. And guys, here's one of the recent tweets, one of the recent posts that I made in order to show the actions that basically are happening inside the Discord chat. Here's the week of July 7, July 13th. This week, for the first time, I prepared a short list of 6 tickers that, in my opinion, were at very interesting points in their movement, making it easy to enter profitable short trades. It was published on July the 10th. Over the next 2 days, 5 out of the 6 tickers lost between 4% and 16% of their value, offering strong potential profits. Only 1 ticker continued to move sideways. If you can see the ticker list and the original post in the picture. And here is the tickers that were mentioned by me on July the 10th. Moderna, Coinbase, Oracle, SoFi and ALB. On top of that, UPST was also mentioned at this post. And you can track the price action right after this posted, tickers were posted, and you can prove my words. Additionally, a broader list of more than 20 tickers of interest for potential trading was also published. As usual, I answered many questions from my students and provided a detailed analysis of the following tickers: BayAX, AEO, FI, XYZ, CGC, MSTR and PLTR. So guys, if you want to be a part of this community and if you want to benefit a lot from pretty much any conditions of the market, feel free to join my Patreon. So guys, and let's begin with this tweet that was written by Thomas D. Murphy just several hours ago, and he wrote: "Hey Ralph Norman, how about an explanation of where the campaign stands? Deciding to throw a disabled amputee veteran out of your event, simply for wanting to ask a question. Now you can't threaten to have me arrested. Just answer the questions. What's the status of your investigation on MMTLP? What's the share count?" And here's some updates under this thread. Dolphin wrote: "Thomas, we all saw the video that you uploaded, but a lot of us have questions about how this incident started out. Can you walk us back through the beginning and give us a detailed play-by-play that led up to you pulling out the phone?" And Thomas wrote this: "I drove to his event, parked, walked into the front door and was asked if I was there to volunteer. I stated no. I had tickets to attend and was told the doors weren't open for guests yet. I turned and walked out, headed back to my truck. While walking, I heard a lady call me Mr. Murphy. I stopped, turned around and walked back towards her. She asked me if my name was Mr. Murphy. I replied yes. She then told me I wasn't welcomed and if I didn't leave, I would be arrested for trespassing." And guys, here's the screenshot of his invitation. You can see it in the form of QR code, and yes, he was invited to this event, but for some reasons when he came to this event, he was escorted away, and this was met without any explanation. And let me show you quite interesting update. Bailey DeVroe wrote this question to Grok, and she wrote, "Hey Grok, was Thomas Murphy going to cause a scene at Ralph Norman Governor announcement party and talk MMTLP?" And guys, you know that a lot of people from both sides of the community are trying to argue with the statements that were made with the help of artificial intelligence. And if these answers are favorable for one side, definitely this side accepts it, but the other side doesn't want to accept it, and vice versa. And guys, if you rely on the answers of artificial intelligence, please, you have to accept the answers from the same artificial intelligence from the other side. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It is some kind of kindergarten when you tell something to the counterparty, and if the answer is not sufficient and is not made in your favor, in this case you completely disagree and you try to argue with this, and vice versa, guys. I don't think that it will lead us anywhere. That is why, let me quote you just the answer of Grok on Bailey's DeVroe question. Grok responded, "Based on Murphy's account and video evidence, he had an invitation and planned to peacefully ask about the MMTLP trading halt investigation, a major scandal involving alleged fraud and investor losses since FINRA's 2022 halt. He was denied entry and threatened with arrest preemptively, with no sign he intended to cause a scene." And yes, guys, we cannot tell for sure what was the reason of these actions. We definitely know that Thomas Murphy wanted to ask some questions about MMTLP, but was these potential questions, the reason why this entire story happened? We don't know, and unfortunately, if we take a look at Ralph Norman's Twitter account, we will not see any responses from him in regards to this story. And at the same time, guys, you can clearly see on each and every tweet that was written in this Twitter account, you can see that there is a plenty of comments from MMTLP community. And yes, we have we can conclude, we can say for sure that Ralph Norman knows about the actions that happened back in the days, and he definitely has his own position, but for some reasons he don't want to make a public statement that will explain everything in his actions. And I think he has to do this because it will stop all the actions from MMTLP community and potential misunderstandings in this story. So let me show you another quite interesting update in regards to the most recent lawsuit. CPO wrote this tweet 12 hours ago. Got a response from FINRA in regards to my motion for preliminary injunction, sharing for the world to see what shenanigans I'm going to have to deal with. And guys, here is this document in details. It is a 24-page document, and I want to pay attention to just several paragraphs. First of all, on page 3 you can find these details. Specifically, there is no likelihood of success because 1. This court lacks personal jurisdiction over FINRA. 2. FINRA's regulatory immunity bars the FAC. 3. Kelly lacks any private right of actions against FINRA. And 4. FINRA is not a state actor subject to constitutional claims. Curiously, Kelly's claimed irreparable harm rooted in unfounded fears of evidence destruction and desire to fish for facts to oppose yet to be filed motion to dismiss reveals rather than resolves the substantive defect in his request. So guys, as you can see, FINRA clearly stated that he has a total immunity, and that is why they don't need to even answer to all these allegations. And what is more importantly, they stated that FINRA is not a state actor subject to constitutional claims. And definitely I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, I don't have a degree in this field, but this, in my opinion, this statement is quite, well, at least questionable, because no one can disrespect the Constitution, the constitutional claims, and in my opinion this statement is at least debatable. On top of that, guys, on page 10, let me show you even more details. On page 10 you can find several facts that FINRA relies on their total immunity. So they wrote, the court lacks personal jurisdiction over FINRA, and they explained in details, in their opinion, why it is a real fact in this case. Second, FINRA is not a subject to general personal jurisdiction in Nevada, and probably this might be quite legitimate response. Next one, FINRA is not a subject to specific jurisdiction in Nevada. Another quite, I would say, reasonable fact. Next one, let me show you further. FINRA's regulatory immunity is absolute and bars all claims. And this is the most important part of their line of defense. And to be honest, CPO filed this lawsuit against FINRA especially for fight their immunity, because he wanted at least to try to remove this immunity, and in this case the MMTLP community will be able to basically to solve the problem and to see the resolution in the easiest possible way. But FINRA is still arguing that they have a total immunity, and that is why they don't care about all of these claims. On top of that, wait a second, do we have another? Yes, Kelly has no private right of action against FINRA. And this is, in my opinion, is also quite debatable statement, because FINRA's one of the most crucial goals of FINRA is to protect retail investors. And why in the world, if they protect, as claimed, retail investors, why in the world these investors cannot ask FINRA some legitimate questions about their actions? In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. So, next one, Kelly's constitutional claims fail because FINRA is not a state actor. Another very debatable statement. And because of all of these statements, let me show you the conclusion is following. For all of the reasons included herein, Kelly's motion for preliminary injunction fails and must be denied. So, let's see what will be the judge's decision. But at the same time, guys, I support CPO's actions for 100%, and I think, well, he has decent chances to win his battle, because he's trying to argue, and he basically asks for jury trial. And jury trial might help us, because there is a people, just ordinary people like me and you, who were chosen in order to make their conclusion and make the decision about the story, about the lawsuit itself. And that is why, in my opinion, CPO has decent chances to win this battle. On top of that, guys, in response to the tweet that was written by RareDD that I covered just a couple of days ago, CPO wrote this. And first of all, let me show you some details. So, wait a second. CPO asked, so wait, you are telling me they didn't come up with excuse for the U3 halt until March of 2023? And again, he's talking about FINRA's actions. And RareDD wrote, that's correct, and he proved this statement. And in this case, CPO wrote this. This was great. This post helped me identify something in my motion I needed to correct. Pay attention to the wording here and think about what FINRA actually did. They are screwed. And guys, I have to say that this is what I wanted to see, because RareDD has a very good, well, in most cases he has a very good due diligence, and he found out a very good facts about the actions that happened back in the days and that are still happening right now. And I told you multiple times that people who filed lawsuits should use this information in their lawsuits. And here is the perfect example how it happens. So, Let me quote you this screenshot of CPO's statement. It was written in one of the official documents of FINRA. So, FINRA's decision to halt trading was due to clearance and settlement concerns in light of the structure and timing of the corporate action. As a result, ongoing trades, in this case, ongoing trades was halted on December the 9th. So this means CPO might use this statement because the structure and timing of the corporate actions was very questionable according to FINRA. And well, I have to admit that it is very interesting to see what will be the next step in this case. And Rare DD responded to this. Yes, sir, from Robert W. Cook's response to Ralph Norman and company. And I have to say that, well, this, the most recent case that was filed by CPO is very important in my opinion, because it is another path how we can achieve our goal, and this path is quite different to any other lawsuits that we have on the table right now. And definitely it is completely different to the approach of the part of the community who want to just make some statements in X and who don't want to file any lawsuits. Guys, I know that lawsuits in the United States of America is quite expensive actions, but if you know that you are right, you can make the statement, you can make the claim together, like for example Daniel Oxer did with Marcus, and I believe yes, Brad Davis is the third person who joined this lawsuit. And for now, guys, the amount of money that they had to pay is 3 times lower. And by the way, let me show you that Daniel received the first part of his books in paper, so-called analog books. And I have to admit that if you want to have one of these books, feel free to order it. So let me show you another quite interesting update. In this time from Scott Roth's site. Coyote with no name wrote a couple of tweets, and unfortunately I don't know the original post because it is unavailable, but the answer and the response of Coyote with no name is following. Yeah, because you all use the same dump methods. You can't form a coherent complaint to get to discovery, so you play all these end round games as if the legal system hasn't seen them. It's why you all keep losing. And he added, yeah, that was kind of the point of why Congress passed PSLRA was to prevent frivolous lawsuits like yours. I have done my research. You are just yet another soft seat crying about the rules that everyone else has to play by. And Scott responded to this. No, Buttercup, they passed it to protect Wall Street, and they made sure RICO couldn't apply to securities fraud because the fraud is omnipresent. They are protecting the apex predators. Try again. Well, guys, I have to admit that the entire story becomes more complicated and more shady, and we can see that inside the MMTLP community and around the MMTLP community, there is a lot of people who might think and who thinks differently. And it is totally okay to have these people because everyone has the right to do basically, and to think especially whatever they want. And the only real story how we can push the case forward is through litigation. That is why all the rumors, all the so-called facts, all tweets and all other public statements are not so important in this case, because they are not they cannot be added to the lawsuits, and if they can, guys, we can add it, and in this case these so-called facts might be the real facts, that might be the evidence of the wrongdoing of certain people or entities. So let me show you another quite interesting response of Trader Zero. If you don't know who this person is, he has a lot of experience in trading, and definitely he knows how the market works. And he responded to the space call that ended a couple of days ago or just yesterday, and unfortunately there is no recording of this call, but the answer is following. Royalties weren't paid because McCabe, through Hudspeth, MPC, etc., controlled all of the assets. The board approved paying $14 million to fund drilling to meet UL lease obligations. So UL would not pull the lease until the spin-off was complete. McCabe had leverage in this case because he loaned MMAT millions and agreed to purchase shares on MMAT to inject capital into the company. So it remained operational. And his assets were protected until he could regain control of them through next bridge. The entire play was Meta received the Nasdaq listing, and TRCH was isolated to remain intact as ONG assets, to spin Torchlight back to McCabe as NBH. And guys, to be honest, it is very simple explanation, but it is very difficult to argue with this statement. And to be honest, if you have any facts that proves that this statement is wrong, please show me these facts and write me in the comment section. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.